Good evening, everyone. So I'm redoing this reading because I had a few technical glitches in the original one. So for the people who shared the original post, that was Brody and Darius, I'm still going to enter you in for this coming week's contest. And announcement for Transformational Tuesdays contest was Brody Tuck. And so, Brody, we will be in touch. We'll schedule a live video call and we'll do that reading. So I'm just going to jump right into it tonight. The whole concept of we have to ask ourselves, not only do we want to develop ourselves as better human beings for our own peace of mind, but also so that we can have an impact in the community. And where are we going to be spending our time and our energy? And do we really want to improve the community? Now, I came from a family where community service was just part of who we were. It's what we did. And it doesn't make sense to me in kind of a weird way that there are people who don't actually want to contribute to their communities by going out, creating events, creating things, marching for things like the Women's March, standing up for the rights of people that we see that are being disenfranchised or discriminated against. So, for me, that's a really important part of life, and I think that it's an important part of life for anyone who's on the consciousness raising path. So we're going to talk about our reading this week, and we're going to be looking at our blessing, the challenge, and the recommended action. So our first card this evening is our blessing card. And sometimes our blessings don't look like blessings at all. And in this case, the Four of Swords is one of those cards. Because the swords are often very pointed in terms of a suit in the tarot deck. They slice through things, they cut things off, they tear things down. So there's a lot of action with swords. And the Four of Swords is action tempered with mindful thought. So what we're talking about here is the ongoing struggles in our communities, and from things like legislated poverty, broken election promises, travel bans, just a sense of not really caring about the people, and particularly not really caring about people who have difficult issues, but rather we seem to be focusing on those people who have it all anyways to begin with and don't seem to want to share much in their communities. And I think that's really hard for us to deal with as authentic human beings, that we don't want to see that kind of inequity in our communities because it's just getting bigger. So what I want you to do this week is ask yourself what your feelings are around these kinds of issues. Do you have action that you can temper with mindful action outside in the real world? And how are your feelings serving you? So if you're feeling really disappointed and you're feeling disenfranchised, thrown to the wayside, nobody's listening, it's like I need you to ask yourself, how is that serving you? And if it's not serving you, what can you do about that? So the challenge card is the Nine of Rods reversed. Now, reversed cards can mean two things. They can mean inner work that needs to be done. They can also mean that there is something different from our upright positions here. So in an upright position, the Nine of Rods means inner strength crystallized by opposition. So we know that. Sometimes those things that are really hard in our lives toughen us up, give us insight to who we are when we need to pull that courage out and get on with stuff. And that's what it is in an upright position. However, this is a reversed card. And in reverse, we have to be aware that we can leave ourselves open to seeing our optimism leave us. And because adversity can defeat us. And it is a thing that we always have to worry about and wonder about and take a look at. Well, not worry. I don't want you to worry. It's just something, it's like in our awareness, we need to know that there are times when the community and what's going on in it and what's going on in our lives can leave us in a place where we're feeling defeated. And if we live there, nothing changes. So again, ask yourself, does that serve you? Does it serve your life purpose? Does it serve the path that you want to be on? So we want to take a look at those kinds of things. So the challenge is just this. Acknowledge that we feel the way we feel and have the courage to move forward in that anyway. And this next 4 years in the U.S., 3 years in Canada, is a time to maybe step up. You know, we engaged, you could see it that there were a new engagement amongst young people and millennials in the elections. We know that millennials tend to be much more social democratic people. They're much more inclusive. They're expansive in their communities, and they kind of don't understand what gets older people's knickers in a knot, which may be a good thing. But it's like we've already engaged once, so let's not let that engagement fall by the wayside. Or you know what? It's like if good men do nothing, evil just continues. And I can't remember the quote, but you all know what I mean. So the recommended action is really a step up kind of thing. The card that we're back with is the Five of Pentacles, which is a card in its upright position, which can leave us just feeling defeated. But the thing about being aware is that even when a card says, well, we're all in a spot where we're just feeling downtrodden and defeated and heavy and burdened and all of that kind of stuff, is that once in recognizing that we can move away from that. The other thing that's really important and that we fall prey to if we get into that spot is that we start to isolate ourselves. We feel alone. We feel there's nobody listening because it seems like the powers that be aren't listening. Well, maybe they're not listening to one voice, but they might listen to 10, and they're going to listen a little bit more to 100, and if it's 1,000. So, you know, and we know from the work that has been done that, you know, an online petition really doesn't mean a lot. But hundreds of thousands of postcards to the Prime Minister or the President, you bet somebody's listening. Because if you take the time to get a postcard, stick a stamp on it, write a note on it, and get it into a mailbox, you're saying you're committed to what you wrote down there. So think about those things. If you want to see real change in the community, you need to define who you are, find out what your belief system is, and be prepared to act on it. Because if you're just going to sit around and examine your navel and think that you're going to get enlightenment, I think you're thinking wrong. I think that enlightenment also impacts our community. And the more people who are moving forward in their lives means that we change the energy in our community, and we can't do it alone, so we need to do it together. Well, that's it. So I just want to remind you, if you're watching this on Facebook, please like the page. Share the video. This is the video for Transformation Tuesday next week. So you want to like the page, share the video, tag 2 people. And as a special bonus this week, if anyone that you tag also shares the video and you're the win, I'll do a reading for one of the people that you tagged as well. Okay, so we'll do 2 readings next week. We'll give away 2 readings, but that person that you tag has got to share. And if they share, I'll do a reading for them too. All right, so there we go. That's it for the week. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the notification buttons if you want to know when new ones are. Sorry it's tedious, but it's just the business of putting out this work. And I really do appreciate all of you who share and tag and subscribe to my YouTube video. Website is coming soon, and I will let you all know when the website is up and running and live. Okay? Have a great weekend. Think about where you're going to play, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.